Hello everyone, I'm Megan Graham and I just wanted to come on with a follow-up video from yesterday. I was just over on my TikTok trying to make it through some of the questions that people had asked me. Really quickly, I shared my experience of when I mistakenly, whoops, paid for an appointment with Chrissy at Hair by Chrissy. And so I just wanted to come on with a professional hair colorist's perspective. And first of all, I just want to be clear, it doesn't really matter who I am. Like in the scheme of things in my daily life, it doesn't matter that I was a great hair colorist, right? It doesn't change my life. When it does matter is when you go in for an experience like that where nobody knows who you are because I'm across the coast or I'm across the country from where I was a hair colorist. So no one knows me, right? No big deal. But I think where it was amazing was just that I had a background of being a hair colorist, of running my own really beautiful, attentive salon for years and years. And just being shocked as a client because let's face it, sometimes when you're a hair colorist or you're a salon owner, you actually just want to go in and you just want to be a client. And excuse me if my hair is a disaster. I have been driving back. I have to drive back and forth to Phoenix 4 times a month in 2 days because one of my dogs is getting chemotherapy and I'm just working super hard to keep her alive. So if I look a little disastrous, it's because my day is just about her. That's all I care about right now. So anyway, I figured I'd come over here and answer questions. If you have any, please feel free to jump into the comments. I promise I don't bite. But I just wanted to kind of answer. So some of the stuff that came up, first of all, somebody just asked me, and I'm happy to answer this. Someone said, how much was your one-time experience? I paid $900 to get my hair done. Even for me, I did think that that was a lot of money, but people set their own prices. It's a free market. And if that's what somebody wants to charge and they do a phenomenal job, I knew that going into it. And I was willing to pay it, even though I was the most expensive colorist in Boston. And even for me, I thought, wow, that's really expensive. Even I didn't charge that. But okay, I thought I'll pay it. I didn't complain about it. When I did complain about it was when I realized it wasn't even the person doing the color. I can't even imagine. First of all, I don't think it's ethical. Secondly, had I booked a client in my salon and not done their hair, I can't even imagine how people would react. And in hindsight, I should have walked out. It was such a weird experience. And believe it or not, I can be a shy person and in weird situations where other people don't have boundaries. And to me, doing this is a complete lack of respecting other people's boundaries, right? Like if you are going to book an appointment and you're going to tell someone that you're doing their hair and then not actually do it, it's not, to me, it wouldn't be respectful to do that to someone. I guess everybody feels differently about what's okay, but I wouldn't feel okay about that. So it was $900, which is super expensive. And at the time I was going through chronic illness, and my hair was just my really important thing. And I wanted it to feel good. I wanted to feel pretty and like myself. And I was like, you know what, this is going to be a lot of money, but I'm going to feel great. I don't feel physically able to travel to my other hairstylist to get it done, so I'll have Chrissy do it. And I just didn't know that she wasn't going to do it. And I didn't know that that's how the experience went. So looking back, of course, it was a waste of money. But had I gone to someone like, I think it's Nina at Salon 90 in LA, I bet you I don't know what she charges. She might charge that, but every hair color that I've seen from her is impeccable. So I think it would have been worth it. So here's another question, and that's, what didn't I like about my hair post the before and after? I'm going to be editing a video so I can actually put some of my photos in. Basically for, like 10 years or 15 years, I just had super, super long, thick, and I'm sure it looks like I still do. It's 3 years after the appointment. I still have yet to get my hair back to the condition that it was in before that appointment. I'd say it's going to take, it's in way better condition. It's fine, but it's about 2 years out, because when you heavily damage your hair and it's 22 inches long, you actually just have to grow it back out. If that's your hair, it's a long process. And that's why it was a devastating appointment, because as a hair colorist that did that for a living, the second that hair was done, I knew it was ruined. And so what I didn't like about my hair was that, one, she wasn't even there to consult me. Two, it wasn't what I asked for. I was very specific about my highlight formula. I was very specific that I wanted almost no dark in my hair. And I left. So I'm 49 years old. I don't look good when my hair is too dark. It's not how I wear it. And hair is personal, right? So if you walk into a hairstylist, it's actually their job to do what you want to do because it's your decision. And you should all know this. Like, if you're making an appointment, it's your decision for how you want to look. Like, other people don't have to love what you choose. It's what you want, right? It's what makes you feel good. It's what makes you feel like you. And so it was way too dark. It was sloppily done. It was done by several people at the same time. And it was the worst color I've ever had in my life. And that says a lot because I've had my hair colored in like a cow town in New Hampshire, and it was worse for sure. It was the worst color I've ever seen. I tried to make the best of it. I tried to blow dry it. I wound up highlighting it myself, doing what I could, but it was bad. So that was what I didn't like about my hair. And I also didn't like the fact that I paid top dollar and the person didn't do it. That is crazy. So also in response, somebody else said, can you guys just stop with this bandwagon? And I think it's one of those things where people have spoken out about it, and sometimes you really do need to get something off of your chest. Like, there's a reason why I did hair. I really enjoyed making women feel beautiful. I took pride in listening and making sure that, I didn't cut hair. I only did color. But the people that I trained, the people that I employed, I was really strict with: listen to your clients, do what they ask, be respectful of people's wishes. Like, we are here to make other people happy, and we can give our opinions on things. We could say something that we think might be better, but at the end of the day, the client makes the decisions, and we're here to help them feel great. And so I think it's really important to share this story. I don't think it's good to bottle something up inside. Having that experience in the salon was like extremely disrespectful to my time, to my money, to my hair. And it's been happening to so many people. So I don't think anybody needs to stop speaking out about it, because, like, here's the thing. My YouTube is a really positive place, and I like to talk about positive things. But also, I don't think it's ethical that this is going on. And it's hard for me to talk about stuff like this. First of all, it's embarrassing that I wasted so much money at that salon. I mean, looking back at it, I wish I had just walked out when I even saw the vibe of the salon, because it just wasn't an elegant place that I would ever visit. And I think that you can make hair look good. Here's what I think makes a good hairstylist. A good hairstylist should actually place their client's hair health above all else. If your hairstylist just wants to charge you a bunch of money to put in extensions, and every single one of their client has to have a full head of extensions, and they're not actually trying to help you at least make your natural hair a little bit healthier, so that when you take your extensions out, your hair doesn't look fried, then I don't think to me, I'm not impressed. Like, if you can't color hair, if you can't do hair and maintain the integrity of your client's hair, then you wouldn't work at my salon. You wouldn't be good enough to work at my salon. We did extensions, but the extensions were the icing on the cake. And we were always working on, long-term gratification, which is to get our client's hair into the most beautiful shape. And that's something that I still do with people. So I privately do consults, and I work on systems where people can actually grow their hair back, because I don't want to wear a head full of extensions. I want to have beautiful hair that I can do oil treatments on, that I can just enjoy my natural hair. And if I put a few extensions in, I want it to be the icing on the cake. I don't want to be unrecognizable if extensions come out. So I think a good hairstylist doesn't just rely on extensions to make it look like their clients have pretty hair. They don't have to have everything be photographed with like a halo light. It's not all for show. It's not all filters. It's just like actual good work that, you're not trying to cover up. So that's just me. and how I worked. And this person also mentioned, they said, I used to go to a stylist who used assistants, but they never did the actual service. They would mix color for her, shampoo me, and rough dry me because I have a lot of hair, and she always applied the color. And yes, so that is, just so you know, that is the typical way that most good hairstylists are doing hair. Not everybody works with an assistant. Not every single hairstylist has to have an assistant. At Hair by Chrissy, what it seemed was that 2 assistants or 2 junior stylists were doing. They may have been junior stylists. I have no idea. But it wasn't Chrissy doing my hair. It was, I would say, based on how young they were and what they did to my hair was, I would say they were junior stylists. If they weren't, they in my salon would have needed a couple more years of training. They weren't ready. But anyway, I don't know who formulated the color. I have no idea. There were too many people involved. Maybe it was Chrissy. I just don't know. I barely spoke to her when I was in the salon. But usually, so I had 2 personal assistants always working with me when I was behind the chair, but they were helping me with things that I did. So they might do a base break between your foils. They might do a glaze, a shampoo, take your client's coat, put barrier cream on your client. If they were doing the blow dry, their name was on the service. So when they got the text reminder, when they got the email reminder, it said, this person is doing your service and you're being charged this person's price. So if somebody booked with a junior stylist, they weren't going to pay $275, which was my single process price. They were going to pay whatever fee that person charged. So it's very, very different. The fees are different. I have noticed that in Arizona, I don't know why it's a thing, but I have seen other people. I went to another appointment where all of a sudden, the girl was foiling my hair and someone came over and she was like going to be foiling on one side and she thought her assistant was going to foil on the other side. And I was like, no, I didn't book with your assistant to have my hair done. I don't want, and if you don't know this, again, you don't want 2 different people doing your hair at the same time. If you think that the sides are going to turn out the same way, and if you think that 2 people foil exactly the same and that do you think they share a brain and they know the foil spacing? No, it's not going to turn out right. If you can't take all the clients, you can charge more, but if you're not doing the service, of course you should say it's not you doing the service. So yes, we all use assistants, right? That person understands that's how things are working. All right, this person said, when Chrissy is on camera listening to what a client wants, she doesn't seem to listen at all. Does she have an assistant off camera taking notes? I can't believe she walked away during a consult. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, but I have seen her doing consults on camera, which is why I actually thought she was going to be doing my hair when I showed up. I don't know if she has somebody taking notes, but also I feel like maybe whatever is on camera isn't real. I mean, it didn't seem real based on what actually happened to me. The only thing that I could think of, and this is not, I'm not saying this is fact at all. I was just trying, when I was there at the salon and it went the way that it did and she didn't do my hair, I was like, maybe she just only does it when it's who she wants to do it for. And if she doesn't want to, and she doesn't think you're a big enough influencer, she doesn't do your hair. Like, I don't even know if she knew that what I do is YouTube. So I have 45,000 people on YouTube. But maybe that's she's like, yeah, you don't get me, you get my assistant. So I can't possibly get inside the mind of somebody that it's beyond my professional capacity to understand saying that you're going to do something and, sending someone a text reminder and then not being the one to perform the service. And what's interesting is I got a lot of comments and people were like, yeah, well, it's like her name, but she doesn't do the services. No. When you book the appointment, they say, who do you want to do your hair? What stylist are you choosing? So why would they ask you what stylist you want if you weren't actually choosing a stylist? If you were choosing one of the junior stylists, then you would pay their price, and it's literally less than half of her price. It's not the same at all. And that's not what I chose, and I never would have chosen a junior stylist. Think about it this way. If you're going in to get brain surgery, and I don't care if you think this isn't a good comparison, I really don't care. If you're going in to get brain surgery and you show up and they're about to do brain surgery and you find out that it's an urgent care doctor that's never performed brain surgery, you're probably going to leave because it's a different person. And I think one thing that I've seen is that in the hair industry, people always think like, oh, everybody's the same. You've all been to cosmetology school. It's completely different. What you learn in cosmetology school is almost zero. You learn after as an apprentice with continued education and with training. So everybody is quite different. And people choose someone with experience because that is what they want. And when you get someone, when you show up and your stylist is supposed to have 20 years of experience under their belt, and all of a sudden they're nowhere to be seen, and you have like two 23-year-olds doing your hair, sorry, but it's not the same thing. And I think most people know that if they're being honest. If anything, I think people just get upset about the price, so they don't really care about anything else. For me, it wasn't about the price. I thought the price was a little bit ridiculous, but I was willing to pay it for the person that I booked with. But I wasn't willing to pay that price for some random people that I had never heard of. Like, that's not how it goes in an appointment at all. This person asked, what did I use or do to get my hair longer and healthier? They've got some autoimmune conditions and they wanted to find out. That's literally what I do for a living now. So I don't work in the salon anymore because I worked around chemicals for so long, and I wound up developing like a really fun, crippling autoimmune disorder. So instead of doing what I used to do, I now work one-on-one with people. I set them up with different hair care systems, sometimes for the seasons, sometimes like maybe they've gone through more damage. It just depends. So I work personally with people and I set them up with things that work, that are also low toxicity, that work for people like me, and they work for anyone. So if you're interested in that, always feel free. I've got a link. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I included it in the, oh my gosh, I might have forgotten to, but I'll put it in this description. I meant to, I think I put like a little place for it and I might have forgotten because I was really busy just going back and forth with my dog's chemo today, but I will get it in there. I've got a great system and I'm always happy to share it and send my number, etc., if people need help. This comment, like, it literally just took the cake. Somebody was like, when you eat a cheeseburger at McDonald's, is the owner of the company making it? Same difference. First of all, don't get me started. If people say same difference, it just drives me crazy. Do you mean same thing? Do you mean same thing? It's not same difference. But the second thing is, no, it's not the same thing, because one, we're not at McDonald's. We're not at Great Clips. We're talking about a $900 hair appointment with a certain person that advertises themselves by showing what they do on Instagram. So if you see somebody doing something on Instagram and you see it over and over in all these videos, and you see them consulting and you see the name of the account is Hair by Chrissy, then yeah, you're going to assume, I mean, call me crazy, that they're going to do your hair. You can't just replace someone else with an appointment. And I'm not really sure, like, for me, it's just an ethical thing. I don't think it's right. I'm amazed if you can even do that, because there's just so many things about having to be accurate in how you describe things that you are selling. And as hair colorists, we are selling services. So I'm not really sure of, it's great that there's a disclaimer that says that assistants are going to work on you, but the disclaimer doesn't say it's just going to be like a little gang of assistants working on you and not the person. Because if it said that, new clients wouldn't come in. I mean, I don't know, but like, I wouldn't have booked an appointment if somebody had said, by the way, it's going to be $900. She's not going to talk to you. She's just going to come over. She's going to touch your hair like this and tell you it's orange and it looks like straw. And then she's going to walk away. You're going to think that she's going to come back, but she's not. And do you want to book with her? No, I don't want to book with her at all. It's a waste of money. So that's my personal opinion of how it went, and it was not smooth. Oh, my husband is here, so I have to end my live stream, but guys, feel free to contact me. I will put my link up. I'm going to do another follow-up because I've just been getting so many questions. And I have a great hairstylist in Scottsdale, Catherine Sorrentino at V Jordan Salon. She shows up to her appointments. She does it herself, and her hair coloring is perfection. So thanks for joining. Bye, guys.